Hello, everyone. This is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today so far. It's probably still going to be a little early when I upload this video, but I woke up about 1 a.m. and I'm just now laying back down to go back to sleep for a little bit, and I decided to go ahead and make this video because once I get up I gotta clean. So I'm probably going to be too exhausted later to do a video, so I decided to go ahead and do one for you guys. I am using the microphone on my earphones again because I really do like the sound quality to my videos when I use the microphone. This is going to be a book video, but I am not going to do any tapping, or I might do some tapping if you can hear it. But I have been inspired to do this video by the wonderful, calming, refreshing Madison Moon ASMR. I recently discovered her channel about 6 months ago when I was looking for ASMR booktube, and one of her videos was one of the first ones that popped up, and the way she inspired me was she does a book video at least once or twice a week, and I love that. Book ASMR is one of my favorite triggers, but I am always very self-conscious about making a lot of book videos because I don't want to seem repetitive to you guys, but books are one of my favorite things ever, favorite hobby for sure. And she inspired me because I love every single video that she releases, and she really does enjoy books. She loves them. And when you love something, even if it's for another book video, then it's okay as long as it relaxes you guys. But this morning I am going to do a favorite books of the year so far. Now I know I'm about 2 months late. I should do it every 6 months, but it's okay. This year has flown by. But so thank you, Madison Moon ASMR, for inspiring me to do this video, and thank you for all your wonderful videos. She's one of the only ASMR artists. She has quickly become one of my favorites because she's one of the only ones that helps me to go to sleep in the mornings after I work night shift. So okay, so let's get started. Favorite books of the year so far. The first one is The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hill by Robert Dugoni. This book I had seen on Facebook, I'd seen it on TikTok, on YouTube, and I finally decided to check it out, and I loved it. I don't think I'm going to read the backs of the books, but I will give you a little synopsis. So Sam Hill is born with red pupils and is bullied by his classmates. He goes to one of those Mother of Mercy Catholic schools, and he becomes best friends with the only African American in his class. And I think this is set back in the 1970s. It's 1970s to present day. But he becomes friends with Ernie Cantwell, who's the only African American kid in his class. And he also becomes friends with a little girl named Mickey Kennedy. But he gets bullied a lot, and I know exactly how that feels. I was bullied years. And he ends up being like an eye doctor, which is ironic. And he meets this mother and her daughter, and he just knows like there's something going on there, abuse-wise. So he's talking about that while also talking about his childhood. And it's just a wonderful book about growing up and persevering and just being the person that you were born to be and who God made you to be. And I love that about this book. It's a long book. It's like 400 pages, but it's really good. It's very good, and it's probably my favorite that I've read this year so far. So definitely check it out. It's The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hill. The next one is a true book. It is called If You Tell by Greg Olson. I had heard about this book on Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook and YouTube. And it's a true crime book, and I'm very into true crime. I love reading true crime. But it's called If You Tell by Greg Olson. It's about three sisters. Their names are Nikki, Sammy, and Tori. And it's the story about them living with a abusive mother. And when I say abusive, I mean this lady was crazy. Her name is Shelley Nautic, and she was just put them through so much torture and abuse. And it's very hard to read at times. Like, some of it actually seems unbelievable. I couldn't imagine, really, a mother doing what she did to her kids at times. There is one like punishment that she would bestow on her kids all the time, which was called wallowing, where she would make her kids sit out in the yard in the cold, naked, while she got her husband to spray them with the hose. And she would do that for hours. And that is not even half of it. This book was very upsetting to me, but it's a good book. I definitely recommend it for the true crime lovers out there, but it's very intense. I definitely don't recommend this book to anybody under the age of 16. It's just very, very upsetting and intense at times. But I do like Greg Olson's writing. I read his book from back in the day called If I Can't Have You. And that book was about the Josh and Susan Powell story. If you guys haven't heard of that true crime story, I definitely recommend that one too. That one was heartbreaking. But yes, If You Tell by Greg Olson was my favorite true crime that I read of the year so far. Okay, the next one I got is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I usually don't spend a bunch of money on books if I don't have to. This is probably the most expensive book that I bought this year because it just come out in paperback. This book was very good, probably my favorite rom-com, except for the Unhoneymooners. I don't know if I read that one this year or last year. I read it for the second time this year, though. I love the Unhoneymooners. she's a book agent. Yeah, she's a book agent. And her sister, Libby, pretty much takes her to a place called Sunshine Falls, North Carolina, to have like a girls' trip, a sister trip, before she has her baby, before the sister has her baby. And pretty much just talks about them and their relationship, and there's a little romance. I love rom-coms, and this one was a really good rom-com. There's a very, very handsome man in this book called Charlie Lastra, who's the bookish brooding editor from back in the city where Nora lives. She lives in New York City. And she keeps bumping into him. And, like, they have, like, this whole, like, I think it's a month that they stay in this small town. And the small town is actually the setting of a book that one of Nora's clients wrote. So it's just really, really good. I love the relationship that her and her sister have. It kind of reminds me of me and my niece. But I definitely recommended Book Lovers by Emily Henry. The next one is another one by Emily Henry, and that is People We Meet on Vacation. And this one was really good too. It's about two best friends that take a vacation together every year. But then, stuff starts to happen. They start feeling for each other, and, a little romance. But I love how descriptive they are about the cities that they go to on vacation. There's a lot of flashbacks and present day chapters in this book, which I always love. I love all the characters. I love Poppy, she's really funny. And I love Alex, and I love their relationship. Not just romantic, but like they're best friends. So it's really, really good. A great summer read, and summer is almost over. Can you believe it? But that is The People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Very good book. Very, very good. Another one of my favorites is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I finally jumped on the Colleen Hoover bandwagon this year, and I'm so glad I did. Verity is probably my favorite that I've read, so I've only read 2 of her books. But Verity is probably my favorite out of the 2. Verity is about a struggling writer. She's on the brink of financial ruin, and she accepts a job offer from a husband who is trying to find somebody to finish a book series that his wife is well known for, and she's very successful because she was in a bad accident and she cannot finish the series. So he is looking for somebody to write the rest of the books in the series. So he invites this writer, who her name is Lowen, into his home, and she ends up so she comes to live with them, and really creepy stuff starts to happen. It's very creepy at times, and kind of intense, actually very intense, especially close to the ending. There's is a plot twist at the end that I did not see coming. It was very, very intense. But I love Jeremy. That's the husband's name, the husband of the wife. He has a little boy named Chase, I think, and he's really cute. I like him. But pretty much she finds a manuscript that she wasn't, not a manuscript, but an autobiography that she was not supposed to find or read. And there's a lot of messed up stuff in that autobiography. So it's very, very good. I definitely recommend it if you are a fan of psychological thrillers. Speaking of psychological thrillers, my favorite psychological thriller of the year is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I did not even realize that I was a fan of psychological thrillers until I read this book. Pretty much is about a psychotherapist who is pretty much obsessed with helping a patient. Her name is Alice, and since she shot her husband in the face 5 times, she has been completely silent. So the book is pretty much him trying to get through to her and build a friendship, camaraderie, if you will, with her, so that she can trust him. But this one was crazy. There's a big plot twist at the end. I totally did not expect that plot twist. My jaw was on the floor. I was like, oh my god, that did not just happen type of feeling. Like, I was like, no way. And I love that. I love big plot twist. But yeah, it's pretty much about them. Their, relationship as therapist and patient. And also his relationship with his wife. And it was really good. Very, very good. Alright. The last book I have is It Ends With Us, another one by Colleen Hoover. This one was really good too. It's pretty much about this woman. Her name is Lily. And she... there's flashbacks in this book as well, where she talks about her first love, whose name is Atlas. And she also finds a new love in Ryle. His name is Ryle. And it talks about their relationship. And there is some intense scenes in this book talking about abuse, mental, physical, emotional abuse. But there is also flashbacks where she talks about her friendship and her love with Atlas, who was her first love, who was a homeless boy that she helped for years. And it was really good. I read it so quickly though, because I just wanted to know what happened, especially when it started getting really I was like, man, this just escalated quickly type of feeling. But very, very good book. So my favorites of the year were It Ends With Us so far. It Ends With Us, Colleen Hoover, and I can't wait to read It Starts With Us. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Verity by Colleen Hoover. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. If You Tell by Greg Olson, and The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hill by Robert Dugoni. Alright, you guys, that is it